Hello, I'm Rosalie Jones. I am an artist, musician, and writer living in Northern California. I grew up in Ventura in Southern California and was blessed to have parents that supported the arts, sending me to drawing classes and art classes at a young age, and graduated from Ventura High School and then moved to Humboldt and went to college there. My whole life has been surrounded by the arts, and it is my creative voice that gives me life, that gives me hope, and I love sharing my art with other people and also holding art therapy classes for people in need. And I found a great outlet doing that. It's very fulfilling, rewarding work, working with people, especially veterans struggling with PTSD, and seeing the growth that happens through sharing the creative process with other people that need that outlet to get into the creative mindset and become less judgmental of their work and less critical and be more in that creative healing place. The mindset I get into when creating art is something I learned from my teacher Patty Post many years ago, is to get all the critics out of my head. Get all the people that I think, what are they thinking of my artwork? And get into a just natural flow state of being one with creating and not have these voices of critics in my head as I'm doing it. That helps a lot. Risks that I have taken in art making include train hopping and combining activism and art together to get out a message to the world through visual and performing arts. And I lived in Prague for some months collaborating with different artists, women artists of different ages. And doing that, living on my own, traveling, was a very bold, courageous point in my life where I found myself, found my voice, and now I teach publicly creative expression classes. And that has been another bold step, risk taking, believing in myself to get out there and share this information that I've gained over the years of being an artist and a creative person. I think a common misconception about artists is that people think that they are not an artist. And I believe that everybody has the ability to be creative, to make a mark, to express themselves visually, musically, or writing. Everybody has that creative spirit inside, and I love to foster that little person that's inside of us that wants to express ourselves, and that's what brings me joy. And I hope that more people see their own artist within themselves. Advice I would give to artists starting their path is to explore different mediums. Try clay, photography, videography, drawing, painting. Find something that gives you that spark of inspiration, that gets you out there and looking for subjects that you want to interpret in your own voice, in your own style. And also develop your own way of making these things. There's so many artists to be inspired by, but you have your own creative individual voice that only you have. In 2016, I started painting hummingbirds just out of the joy factor that they bring to my life and so many people's lives, as I've discovered over the years. Painting hummingbirds gets me looking close at feathers and gesture and just the beauty that these birds bring to our lives. And here's what I'm working on right now. I love working with the gold foil and finding these beautiful images of hummingbirds to paint with flowers in their natural environment. so making them small makes them more affordable. And so my whole goal was to make these hummingbird paintings that would go out into the world. I love sharing the art process with people, and so I became an art therapy practitioner. And I've held classes locally in my town where people can come and experience these different ways of creating and getting into a creative mindset that is a natural place to be. Like when we were children, we were all artists, right? And sharing these classes with veterans has been extremely rewarding because I've seen the growth happen just in one class. The ability to let go and draw and make marks and not judge and just let images through and have a voice that isn't with words but is with imagery and gesture and motion. Just the act of making art is healing, and it's relaxing, and it reduces depression and anxiety. And so art is healing. Art saves lives, and I love to work with veterans that have sacrificed so much, and their families, and they come home with these experiences that most of us don't understand, but we understand through art. And sharing this process with people has been a very rewarding experience. The next steps I'd like to take is offering more of these art therapy creative expression classes with veterans around the state and wherever it may lead me, because I'm willing to share these great foundational experiences of creating and healing through art. That's my goal. Art helps people feel connected to the world around them by having their own personal interpretation, visually, of paintings, musically, listening, reading, and experiencing their own interpretation. And that's the gift to the world. As artists, we give, and we don't expect anything in return other than maybe buy a painting or take a class. But truly, giving art to the world is giving the interpretation to the world, for the world to have their own lens and to experience art for themselves and inspire, make people think, make people question, make people feel more connected to the natural world, to be in awe of something that is interpreted from nature is one of my favorite art forms. Seeing paintings of whales and paintings of extraordinary skill that there is in the world. And so through the little things that I do and create, I feel like the world needs more artists, more singers, more writers, coming up with these ideas and sharing it with everybody to enrich our civilization, to help people grow and evolve. Art saves lives. That's my biggest message to the world, and I felt it personally. It has saved my life in many situations and brought me out of dark places through pain and misfortune, tragedy, all these things that are the human experience, and bringing me to a place of peace and understanding and acceptance. And I believe art can do that for everybody. And you can contact me at rxrstudio.com, and have a great day. Thanks so much for watching.